Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the financial mysteries that shape our world. Today we're diving into a company that is guiding us toward 2026 with some interesting financial forecasts. So Collegium Pharmaceutical Incorporated has dropped a report giving us a peek into their expected performance. Specifically for the full year 2026, they're sharing their guidance on revenue and adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization, which is a fancy way of saying how much money they expect to make after certain costs. This means they're telling us what they think they'll bring in revenue, wise, and what their core profitability will look like for next year. It's like them giving us a roadmap of their financial journey ahead. Now, Collegium Pharmaceutical Incorporated is a company that deals in common stock, which is basically ownership in the company for less than a penny a share. Their stock is traded on a major exchange, the Nasdaq Global Select Market, under the ticker symbol COL. This tells us they are a publicly traded company, meaning their performance is something we can all observe and analyze. This filing falls under a section called Regulation FD Disclosure. Think of this as a rule that makes sure all investors, big or small, get the same important information at the same time. They can't just tell their favorite big investors something and not everyone else. They've also put out a corporate presentation. This is common for companies to share their story and outlook with investors. It is a way for them to elaborate on their guidance and strategy, giving us more color on how they plan to achieve their goals. A big part of what these companies talk about is their ability to sell their products and grow those sales. For Collegium Pharmaceutical Incorporated, this is crucial. They are in the pharmaceutical business and their success hinges on bringing products to market and convincing doctors and patients to use them. They also consider the size of the markets their products are aimed at and whether they can actually meet the demand in those markets. If a market is huge but they can't produce enough, that is a problem. If the market is small, even perfect execution might not lead to massive growth. In the pharmaceutical world, regulatory approval is everything. They constantly have to ensure their products meet the strict standards set by health authorities. Any hiccups here can mean products pulled from shelves or restrictive labels, which directly impact sales and reputation. Now, this is super important. They are explicitly telling us that these 2026 guidance numbers are not set in stone. They call them forward-looking statements and warn that actual results may differ materially from management's expectations. This means a lot of things could happen that would make their predictions wrong. They're basically saying, here is what we hope will happen, but be aware that many things could go differently. One of the risks they mention is unknown liabilities. This is a catch-all for unexpected problems that could cost them a lot of money. Think of it as finding a hidden pipe that bursts and floods your basement. You didn't know about it, but now you have a big repair bill. The pharmaceutical market is super competitive. They are always looking over their shoulder at what other companies are doing. If a competitor comes out with a better or cheaper drug that does the same thing, Collegium Pharmaceutical Incorporated sales could suffer. Companies, especially in industries like pharma that require a lot of research and development, need money. They need to be able to get funding, not just to run, but also to grow and develop new products. If they can't secure that funding, their plans could be severely hampered. And as part of this report, they've attached their press release. This is where they first announced these 2026 guidance numbers. It is essential reading to understand their perspective directly. They've also included an investor presentation. This is typically where the story gets a bit more visual and detailed, with charts and graphs that help explain their strategy and financial outlook. This section of the filing lists all the exhibits attached, essentially the supporting documents for their report. And finally, we see the signatures confirming that the proper people at Collegium Pharmaceutical Incorporated have reviewed and approved this report. Here we see Colleen Tupper, the Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer, has signed off. This demonstrates they are taking responsibility for the information presented. So, what is my take on Collegium Pharmaceutical Incorporated's latest filing? They are being transparent about their future expectations, which is good. They're not just saying things will be great, but they're also highlighting the many risks that could affect their performance. This is a sign of a mature company that understands the complexities of its industry. The pharmaceutical sector is inherently risky with high R&D costs, intense competition, and strict regulatory hurdles. Collegium Pharmaceutical Incorporated seems to be navigating these challenges by providing guidance and acknowledging potential pitfalls. Their strengths lie in their ability to communicate their vision and the markets they operate in. However, their key weaknesses could emerge if they fail to manage unknown liabilities or if new competitors disrupt their market share. It's a constant battle in this space. They need to keep innovating and executing flawlessly. Ultimately, this report is a snapshot of their forward-looking strategy. While the future is uncertain, Their candidness about potential risks provides investors with a more realistic picture. It is a reminder that successful investing requires looking beyond the promises and understanding the potential roadblocks. Alright, that is our breakdown of Collegium Pharmaceutical Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.